Welcome to Man About Danville with Logan H. Gurman, a podcast for Danville, Kentucky and beyond. Conversations with friends, and you get to listen. Brought to you by the Logan Company, a commercial and residential real estate brokerage for Danville and Central Kentucky. 80% Danville-centric, 20% eccentric.
Good morning, Danville, Kentucky. You are listening to Man About Danville, the leading podcast for Danville, Boyle County, and the surrounding region of Central Kentucky. Thank you very much for joining us. I am, of course, Logan H. Gurman, the Man About Danville himself. Whether you are in the car, on your commute, on a road trip, on vacation, by the pool, coming home, at work, at the gym, down on the farm, on your way to school, however, wherever you're accessing this podcast, I appreciate it. I consider it a real honor and privilege that you choose to spend part of your day with me. One of the things that makes this the most innovative podcast in the region is that I am always trying new things. I've done in-person interviews. I've done Zoom interviews over the interwebs. I've done interviews on location, and I have interviewed couples. This, however, is my first roundtable discussion today. I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. Every episode is an experiment and an adventure. If this works, though, it could really open up some interesting possibilities of combinations of people for shows in the future. If you are a person who is interested in food, you're going to want to stick around for this episode. If you like food or restaurants that are farm to table, you'll have an interest. If you want to know your farmer and know where your food comes from and where it is processed, this episode is for you. I will tell you how you can meet the farmer that produces the food that will go on your table. You can look them in the eye and ask them all the questions you want. Today, I am joined by three young people who are participating in the Boyle County Investment and Youth Livestock Sale and a couple of parents from that organization. So everybody, thanks for joining me today. And one of them is my old friend, not old, we've just been friends a long time, my former high school classmate, Rebecca Helm-Kernodle. Rebecca, thank you for being with us today. Would you tell us what the project is and what's going on?
Sure. The Investment and Youth Sale of Boyle County this year features 18 youth from Boyle County. They range in age from around 6 all the way up to 17, senior in high school this year. These youth will get an animal sometime in the spring, and this year we will be selling 13 hogs, 2 goats, and 3 sheep. And they raise these animals. They're responsible for keeping the records on those animals as far as their expenses and any medicines. They are responsible for caring for the animal every day, walking the animals, feeding the animals, washing the animals. They're also required to show the animals through the summer. Of course, this summer has been a little different, and a lot of the shows have been canceled, but there have been a few shows that they could participate in. They participate in the Boyle County Fair when we have that. This year that was canceled as well. And then they will sell that animal in September. It's the first Tuesday after Labor Day, and this year it's September the 8th. And the sale is being hosted by the Bluegrass South Stockyards in Stanford.
All right, so that's September 8th in Stanford. Starts at 6 o'clock in the evening. There's a meet and greet with the youth that are participating, and they're going to show their animals. Then they're going to auction the animals off. Let's say I'm at the auction. I am in desperate need to buy a hog or a goat or a lamb. Are there no cattle this year?
No cattle this year.
Let's say I buy an animal. I'm the winning bidder. Then what happens?
You have several choices. You can take that animal home with you if you choose to, or you can have that animal processed. That meat, you can donate that meat to charity. There are several organizations in town that donate the meat to the children's home here in Danville, or you can choose to have that meat processed to fill your freezer. And our organization will be responsible for transporting that animal to the processor. You're just responsible for picking up the animal, the meat.
And then if I don't need the freezer full, I can just write the check. Does it go to the kids? Does it go to the foundation?
It goes to the Boyle County Youth Investment. And that money this year is being overseen by the Boyle County Land Trust. And so they are the ones that oversee the finances of the organization this year.
And that's a 501c3 organization?
Yes. We are working on our own 501c3 independent status.
Okay. And then how's the money used?
Then that money, each animal, the price of each animal, that money is then given to the children once they have fulfilled all their requirements. Once they've turned in their record book showing their documentation of all their records, once they have written their thank you notes and delivered their plaques or banners to the buyers. the kids here can tell you today what they do with the money, but most of that money is reinvested in the next year's project, saved for college.
So it either goes into the college savings plan or it's a lesson in ag economics.
Yes, absolutely.
I understand that. I can buy it. You all will have it processed. I don't have to take it anywhere. I don't have to put an animal in the back of my sport. You all get it to the processor. I'd get a phone call a couple of weeks later, pick up my delivery and put it in my freezer, or I can pay for it. Have the
support price.
The support price will be deducted, and then the food can be donated to somebody here in town or a little further away. But you've got contacts worked out there.
Yes.
Or I can just write the check, don't have to worry about it, where it's going. But anyway,
right.
So you've got all that worked out, day of sale. So it's an easy operation for me, the winning bidder at the auction. All right, let's talk to some of these folks here. Campbell Coyle. Campbell, I know you. You are on the swim team with my son, Max. You're going to be what grade are you going to be at?
I'm going to be a senior this year.
You're going to be a senior at Boyle County, whatever that's going to look like this year. I hope we have a swim team this year.
Me too.
What is your livestock project for this year? And come in a little closer to the mic.
Well, this year I'm raising 5 market lambs as my project. They range from different breeds, so I can show them in different breeds at the shows, at the market shows. So I get a very...
So what breed are your lambs?
Well, I have a Hampshire, I have a black-faced cross, which is just crossbreed. And then I have a Dorper, a Suffolk, and another Hampshire.
So some of those names are familiar to me. I'm no ovine expert. Is that even the right word? Ovine for sheep. Like bovine's cow. I think it is ovine. O-V-I-N-E.
It sounds
It sounds smart. Yeah, let's go with it. All right. Are any of those like heirloom breeds or anything, or are they all pretty standard in the industry?
They're all very standard breeds in the industry.
All right. So you've got 5 lambs this season. You're going to be selling one at the auction. You take the others to shows normally all over the state. Where all do you normally go in a normal year?
Well, in a normal year, we'll go to a lot of county shows. We'll go to some district shows, and then I'll even venture out and go to some shows out in Kansas. I went to a show a few years ago called the All American that was out in Kansas, and the show that we always went to that wasn't available this year was the Midwest Junior Show, which is up in Missouri. We have a very diverse places where we go to shows, and it's a very fun year to be able to go out and do all that.
And how long have you been raising lambs?
Well, I can't remember not raising lambs, pretty much. I've been 5 when I started this, and I've been in investment youth sales since I was 5, so I've been doing this for 12 years now.
Okay, so you're an old hand at this. You all have a family farm. Your parents are pharmacists?
Well, my mom's a pharmacist, and then my dad runs the business.
Okay, all right. And their shop's right down on 4th Street, isn't it? The medicine shop, is that them? And you all have a family farm?
Yes.
And where's that?
It's on Corks Run, which is on Parable Road, right in between Danville and Parable.
There's some good people that grew up on Quirks Run Road. Now, I know that for a fact. Do you have to have a farm to participate in this program?
No, you do not. Actually, this year we're helping a family out who didn't have the facilities to raise a lamb, so they wanted to start out showing some lambs. So we let them have a stall in our barn so they could keep their lamb, and they come out there every day working the lamb. They're doing everything they can to get that lamb where it needs to be.
Okay. Avery Holman's with us. Avery, thanks for being with me.
Thank you for having us.
And you're at Boyle County. Mm-hmm. You're on the swim team too?
I am.
I didn't recognize you without your swim cap today, so I'm sorry.
Most people don't.
And what grade are you going to be going into?
I'll be a sophomore at Bowl this year.
Okay. What animal are you bringing to the auction?
I'm bringing a market wether with me this year. However, my full project consists of 3 market wethers, 3 commercial does, and 2 lambs.
And those are all goats, right?
No, the lambs are sheep. I have 6 goats that I'm showing and 2 sheep.
Okay, but you're going to be selling a goat at the auction.
I am.
All right. And I've got Rebecca provided me some cheat sheets here. So if I am at the show and I purchase a goat, I am likely to have a yield of 42 pounds of goat meat by the time it's all over with. Is there a big market for goat meat, for goat here in the state?
No, not really. We took 3 goats to be processed just last week, and we're trying to figure out ways to market goat meat since it's not that popular. But it's going to be an adventure. I think it's going to be an experience.
Well, it's just kind of it's pretty darn good from what I hear.
It is.
It's just we're just not as familiar with it.
People aren't as familiar with it, and I think that makes them a little hesitant to try it. Whereas beef and pork are more familiar to them. We know what it tastes like. We know that it's good. However, with goat meat or Siobhan, it's not as familiar to us.
Okay.
Lamb and goat meat is more common in these ethnic groups. A lot of like Muslims, when Ramadan comes around, that's really when the lamb and goat market really goes up, and that's really when we try to sell our lambs.
I tell you, every Easter, my grandfather raised sheep in Fayette County, and every Easter it was lamb with mint jelly, and I just can't eat lamb with mint jelly and not think of my grandparents. Caleb Kernodle, all right, you're Rebecca's son, and listen, I've known your mom a long time. I know the real stories. I've got pictures, so we can talk after this is over with, and I'll fill you in on everything you need to know.
Sounds good.
All right, now you're going to be what grade?
I'll be a junior this year.
You'll be a junior at Boyle County. You're not a swimmer, though.
No.
Okay, all right. And what animal are you going to be bringing to the livestock?
I'll have a hog.
Tell me about your hog project.
So we've had our hogs. We have 4 of them this year. We bought them all from the Ellis family back in April. They had a virtual auction. The past few years, they've been having a actual in-person auction at the fairgrounds, but because of all the COVID regulations, they had to go virtual this year. So we bought our 4 hogs from them out of their virtual sale back in April. We've had them since then. We've been working with them every day, walking them, feeding them, keeping records on them, like how much they've gained a day, how much we've spent on feed, the supplies we've bought for them for shows and for stuff we need around the barn, as well as vaccinations and other medicines that they require to have.
So you guys are really doing all the work for this project. You're keeping the records, which is so important to the business of farming. People don't understand. People think the sun comes up, the rain comes down, and you're farming. But you guys are invested in that, in the ag economics, the record keeping, the tracking, the science, all of it. Now you mentioned the Ellis family. They are legendary. They've been raising hogs in our part of the world for generations, literally. How did their virtual auction work?
It went really good. A lot of people, and even my family, we were kind of concerned for them. We didn't feel like that maybe they would reach as large of a crowd. But honestly, in my opinion, I think they reached a larger crowd than they ever had before. And their sale this year topped almost any sale they've ever had. It went very well for them.
Was it like a Zoom meeting or something, rather? Or?
No, it was just like they had their own website, and they had all their lots of pigs on there that you could bid on. And there was a certain time of like when the auction started till it ended that you had to bid.
Okay. So they had a picture of each animal? And
was it pictures or videos? I don't remember.
Some people, like we did, came out to their farm, their new barn where they're keeping their show pigs right now, to view them and take note of the ones that we liked or the ones that we figured we might bid on. And then when the sale started later, we'd go back and review our notes and bid on the ones that we had written down beforehand.
Campbell, has this year, you've done this, you said 12 years or so. How has this year been different or more challenging than any other year? Or has it been easier because you're at the farm all day?
Well, this year I feel like it has been easier, but then it's been harder in other aspects. Like, we've only been able to go to a few shows this year, so the lambs have only gotten out to a few shows. That's good for some, but it's also good to bring them out, because that's always a great training experience for the lambs going into a big show like State Fair. Gives them a little something new, gives them something to look at, gives them so they're not as crazy or just not as used to going into this big show setting.
Now, the state fair is going to be happening, but it's for participants only this year. Are you guys going up for that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everybody?
Yep.
Okay. Are you going to stay up there? Don't you guys like camp out when you're?
Well, can't camp out this year.
Staying in a hotel, I mean, yeah,
You stay in a hotel.
it's roughing it.
It's more like glamping, glamour camping. Yeah. All right. All right. So I'm hoping you guys will take some of these proceeds and apply it to your college fund somewhere. Campbell, you're the senior. Do you know where you're going to be next year?
Well, I've been looking around, and I like some colleges. Like, I love UK. I would love to go there, but then I'm keeping my options open. There is this college in Illinois that I looked at that had a great ag program, great engineering program, and then it was also a D1 swim program. Checked all the boxes for me, but I would still love to stay and go to Kentucky. They're always going to be my first choice.
So do you think you're going to be an ag major when you get there?
I'm either going to be ag major or engineering major.
Okay.
It's going to be between there.
There's probably a great deal of overlap in ag engineering too. I mean, the implements and it's a whole new world than when I was learning I didn't want to farm growing up. Avery, you're a sophomore, so I'm going to assume you haven't made any college plans yet.
Not really. Kind of like Campbell UK is my first choice anywhere, but I'm always open to options.
Okay. And Caleb, what about you? Have you thought about college?
I've considered it. Right now, I'm kind of all over the place. My grandfather and uncle both my grandfather for 45 years was in the real estate business.
Are we talking about Bruce Helm?
Yes. My mom's father.
He should be on the Mount Rushmore of Danville real estate. He is a gentleman of the first order.
And my uncle, after he got out of high school and graduated college, he got into it as well and got his auctioneer's license. And I know for sure that that's something I want to do after high school is get my auctioneer's license and work on my realtor's and broker's license as well, and eventually get into that business. But I'm kind of all over the place right now of whether or not I should go to college or not. I think I will, but I'm not decided on what for yet.
Okay. All right. Anybody else we need to talk about and as it relates to this project? I want to thank Casey Gordon at Berkman Nutrition. She put me Rebecca, I've known you forever, but I didn't know you were involved with this project. So I want to thank her. She actually sent me an email and said, hey, you need to talk to these people. So I really appreciate it when people call in or send me an email and let me know about interesting things going on in the community. Any other details we need to cover?
Casey has been working on our image. We're rebranding our image, and she's been doing all our new marketing materials this year. So Casey's been a really big asset to our group. Also, we just need to thank Dr. Williams for his support and helping us get connected with the Boyle County Land Trust and helping us as well market our organization in the sale.
If somebody wants more information, who do they need to get in contact with and how? Do you have a phone number, email address, website, anything like that?
We have a Facebook page,
okay.
The Boyle County Investment in Youth, that they can look to. They can contact any of us, the Coyles, the Kernodles, or the Holmans, and we will be glad to talk with them or visit with them. We are getting our marketing materials out this week, so a lot of businesses will be contacted this week by the youth because the youth are required to make the personal contacts and invite the businesses to the sale.
Marketing is part of ag and
yes.
ag economics.
Yes. So they're required to personally make those contacts.
All right. Well, we may shut the servers down once this gets out on my pocket. I anticipate this will release Friday. So, and I'll put a link to your Facebook page in the show notes so people can link through it once they have listened to this episode.
It's also a YouTube channel that Casey's putting together, and she said that you can just search the Boyle County Investment and Youth Sale, and there's going to be videos of each of the youth and their animals, about a 2-minute video from each youth and their animal about their project.
Okay, so we can meet all the kids that
yes.
are involved and get to see their
yes.
animal that they're going to be bringing. All right, well that's awesome too. She's a whiz bang at the marketing.
She is.
Anything else, Jennifer? If I am not in the market to buy a whole hog, a whole goat, a whole lamb, is there any other way I can participate and support these kids?
Absolutely. If you are not interested in buying a whole animal, you can donate to our pool money. We call it the Friends of Boyle County, and a business or an individual can donate any amount of money they would wish. And what we do is we pool that money together, and we use that money to buy animals that maybe an individual or a business is not buying at the auction.
You all make it very easy to come out and support the kids in any number of ways.
Absolutely. And we love our buyers and we love our Friends of Boyle County because they do help. I mean, both of them together help our kids out a lot.
Awesome. Okay. Jennifer, Rebecca, Caleb, Avery, Campbell, I want to thank everybody for being with me today. This has been awesome, and you guys are some sharp young people. Agriculture is so fundamental to everything we do in Danville and Boyle County, and it's neat to see you all carrying on family traditions. It went right past me. My father farms, and he loves it, and I learned early it was not cut out for me, but I appreciate you all carrying on the tradition, and I wish you all the best of luck on September the 8th, 6 o'clock, Bluegrass Stockyards in Stanford. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everybody stick around because you know what it's time for. What's up, Danville? All right, you know the drill by now. What's Up Danville is where I bring you the news you can use for Danville, Boyle County, and the surrounding area. I try to talk about things related to sports, the arts, and not-for-profits. I do have a sports item this week. Boyle County Youth Football is still taking registrations. You can find them. You can find them on Facebook. Do a search there for Boyle County Youth Football League. And thanks to Casey McCoy for pointing that out to me. Out at Pioneer Playhouse this weekend is a weekend comedy special starring Lee Cruz and the Kentucky All-Stars Comedy Tour. That's August 21st and 22nd. That's tonight if you're listening to this podcast, day of release. Check pioneerplayhouse.com for more information and more information on their safety protocols for the outside theater. I recently saw that the Great American Brass Band Festival had some computer issues. They may need your email address again, so do them a favor, swing over to their website, gabbf.org. That's gabbf.org for Great American Brass Band Festival, and give them your email again so they can stay in touch with you. Art Center of the Bluegrass is running their En Plein Air exhibit August through October of this year, featuring all new artwork by the Plein Air Artist Group of Central Kentucky. Of course, the Run for the Arts is coming up in September. Go to their website, artcenterky.org, to sign up for the race and get a t-shirt. Tonight, August 21st, Friday, is the Boldly Resilient Pop-Up Cafe, brought to you by the Chamber of Commerce, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Economic Development Partnership, the City of Danville. I know folks from the Parks and Rec Department are out there as well. The idea is go pick up dinner from a downtown restaurant or anywhere else, I suppose. But you can check out places like Harvey's, Bluegrass Pizza Pub, The Hub, Plank, Melton's Deli if you get there early enough. I don't know that they may just serve lunch. Plank on Main, wherever, Jane Barleycorns. Pick up your dinner, order your dinner, meet in the Whizziger Park there and have dinner outside. The weather should be lovely. They've got a team of folks that are keeping everybody socially distant and wiping down the tables and chairs in between seating. So meet your friends down there and eat local this evening. One other item. If you did not get enough of the 127 yard sale, I've got an opportunity for you. The Boyle County Extension Office and the local 4-H organization are doing the Maize Market. It's a rummage sale of sorts going on out at the Extension Office off Lebanon Road. Call and schedule an appointment. You can pick a time or be assigned a time. The number out there is 236-4484. Again, that's the Boyle County Extension Office, 236-4484. They will schedule you a private viewing opportunity to see what they have for sale out there. They have books, artwork, household items, all those sorts of things, and you can know that your purchases will go to support the Boyle County 4-H clubs and all the work they do for our community's youth. If you have an item that would fall into one of those categories, either in the realm of the arts, sports, or not-for-profit organizations, send me a message, ManAboutDanville@gmail.com. Yes, by the way, the Man About Danville does have merchandise available. I have a few t-shirts and tank tops left in limited sizes. If you want one, I've posted the sizes I have left on Facebook. Send me a message and I'll try to find a Man About Danville t-shirt in just your size. I want to thank all my guests for joining me today. The Boyle County Investment in Youth Livestock Auction will take place on Tuesday, September the 8th at the Stockyards in Stanford. Beginning at 6 p.m. that evening, you will have the opportunity to meet the young people that are raising the livestock. The live auction will start at 7. The organization makes everything so easy for you to either buy or participate. You can, of course, buy the meat right there at the auction. Your company or organization can buy an animal at the auction. You can go in with a couple of friends or a couple of other families to make a purchase. If you own a restaurant, you might have an interest. You could put some locally grown, locally sourced, farm-to-table fare right on your restaurant menu. Or you could just contribute to the pooled fund and know that your donation makes farming a real possibility for young people and our community. I'll try to get links up to everything I've talked about in the show notes. Do you want to get in touch with me to talk about either the show or real estate? Do you have an item for What's Up Danville? Hit me up at my email address, ManAboutDanville@gmail. By the way, like I mentioned last week, I've got a special opportunity for you to be my office neighbor. The building next door to the worldwide headquarters is available. Send me an email if you have an interest in that well-located office space in town. People have been asking, and yes, the Man About Danville can MC your events, birthday parties, anniversary parties. I can be your in-ring announcer for mixed martial arts or boxing. Just get in touch and we will work it out. You can find me on my website, ManAboutDanville.com. Email, as I mentioned, ManAboutDanville@gmail. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can now find me in all the usual places, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, Google, and just about anywhere else. I will say I am now on YouTube. The Man About Danville is available on YouTube. Just the newest episodes will be posted there. So if you want to watch a still picture of me while listening to the podcast, you can do that. If you have a moment, hit subscribe wherever you listen, and I really appreciate it when you take the time to give me a rating or review. Be well. Have a good weekend. Thanks for listening.
That's it. We're out. Thanks so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Subscribe to Man About Danville wherever you access your favorite podcasts, and be sure to tell your friends about us. You've been listening to Man About Danville with Logan H. Gurman, brought to you by the Logan Company, a commercial and residential real estate brokerage for Danville and Central Kentucky. Know someone who would be a good guest? Want to be a guest yourself? Have an idea for the show? Get in touch with us. Find all our contact information on the web at ManAboutDanville.com. Thanks for joining us.